Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joel to Love, here with your AEW Dynamite review, go home show for Dynamite ahead of Revolution this Sunday night. A fun go home show preluding to Revolution, but the big news, the big topic coming out of Dynamite tonight was Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, has bought and purchased Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor. Yes, Ring of Honor. Now, it has been known the last few months that Ring of Honor was going to go on hiatus or probably not return or never be the same. So, they released the vast majority of their talent late last year. And obviously, we know for 20 something years, Ring of Honor has been a great building grounds for a lot of the talent we see on WWE, AEW, New Japan, etc. that we see day to day. So, huge plus for AEW, and news that in buying Ring of Honor, Tony Khan and AEW also have the video library for AEW, or Ring of Honor, I should say, which is huge for promotional because there's a boatload, I mean, of plenty good matches from that company throughout the years. And of course, we know a lot of Ring of Honor alumni: Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Christopher Daniels, just to name a few. And just great to see, great to see. You know, my question is that Ring of Honor, they still trying to wrap my head around it. Sorry, but question is, who's still under contract? Because the likes of the Briscoes and Jonathan Gresham, etc. Um, Danhausen came from Ring of Honor. I mean, just so many. It's really going to be a question to see. And as we start building eventually towards a stadium show for AEW, could there potentially be like a AEW Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact type of deal with all four promotions? I don't know, but we'll see. Anywho, it's great news, great for pro wrestling, great for AEW. The other big news that happened on tonight's show for Dynamite was the Casino Battle Royal, which was a very good, very stout battle royal. The tag team Casino Battle Royal to determine the other opponents for Jurassic Express in that triple threat tag team match at Revolution, and which the Young Bucks came out victorious. Kind of had the feeling with RedDragon going over last week. It just completes the efforts, and it's going to be one heck of a match come Sunday. But the Battle Royal, very fun, and we saw the return of Darius Martin, Dante Martin's brother, returned after a long layoff due to a torn ACL, but great to see those two back together and another piece add to that filled tag team division. But nonetheless, thank you for joining me. If you're new to the podcast and if you want to see more of these videos, click that subscribe in the corner. See all videos on the homepage, as well as click that subscription to see when I post my videos. But Dynamite start off with from Daly's Place. Daly's Place, you're always reminded because they don't go to it as much, which is good, but it's always good to see them and remind them that, well, this was AEW's home throughout the pandemic, so great to see. But Tony Khan was out there, thanked the fans. I mean, usually when it's a big announcement by Tony Khan, it's done by Tony Schiavone or someone else, but he was out there, he thanked the fans throughout the trying times of the pandemic, and he announced the big decision that he bought Ring of Honor. He's now the new owner of Ring of Honor. He addressed the first big main event of Ring of Honor over 20 years ago, involving Bryan Danielson and Christopher Daniels, who are both AEW, and that preluded into the first match of the night, Bryan Danielson versus a returning Christopher Daniels. We had not seen Christopher Daniels in quite a while. First time in 2022, first time since last year, that tag team title match, the last match of SCU versus the Young Bucks. And that is where Christopher Daniels' eye started to get messed up, all red, where it started to become all red, and it's still all red. However, he said in an interview with Chris Van Fleet that his vision is not impaired, so that's good to see, but a little different. And Daniel's first match in a while was pretty good against Danielson. Good for a 51-year-old Daniels. So pretty much stalemate thus far. Of course, the chemistry and the history, these guys, and Daniels, bit rusty, although he has made some appearances in Impact and New Japan Strong as of late. But yeah, filling out process, start the match on the outside. Daniels hit a baseball slide and then his slingshot moonsault off the top rope. Good stuff there. So then they were in the ring, chopping each other down. Daniels hit an STO, and then while Bryan was on the top rope, Daniels caught him with a crossarm bomb for a near fall. And they had an exchange of pins, and then finally they were just slapping themselves in the middle of the ring. Danielson was caught with a Uranagi, and Daniels went for the BME, best moonsault ever, but Bryan caught it well, locked in the triangle choke. Daniels passed out, and that was it. Bryan got on the microphone afterwards. He knew the code of honor for Ring of Honor, how they start every match with a handshake and they end with a handshake. And of course, to start the match, they shook hands, and then Danielson gripped the hand of Daniels, said to Daniels, please give a round of applause for Daniels. But he said he's not in Ring of Honor, he's in AEW. Said it's time to kick someone's head in. So he stomped to the side of Daniel's head. And he said that will be Jon Moxley on Sunday. So Moxley came out, said there's two paths. One of two paths he's going to take on Sunday. One, where he gets his head kicked in and gets demolished. The other is where he doesn't quit, doesn't surrender, and he beats Danielson on Sunday. So he challenged Bryan to take his best shot, and Danielson just skirted outside the ring. It's going to be a great match on Sunday. So then we got the Tag Team Casino Battle Royale. So this was solid. This was a fun match, with Battle Royals. We see much more on AEW, but at least with AEW, they managed to do them well. And this was good. So, to start off the Casino Battle Royal, it was FTR and Top Flight. The returning Top Flight, Dante, reunited with his brother Darius. Darius looked great. And these two teams were in the final three, along with the Bucks. They started out the first two, and they ended the final three. So, almost going the distance was both these teams. So, hell of a way to return for Darius, I would say. So then the Acclaim were next, followed with Alan Angels number 5 and Preston Vance number 10. Then the Butcher and the Blade were next. First elimination came. Alan Angels was eliminated by FTR. Then the Varsity Blondes, who had nice showing. And then Bear Country were next during the break. Santana Ortiz got a great pop from the crowd. They eliminated Bear Country. So there's them. Cesar then was eliminated. Followed with the Best Friends. Next tag team out. So then I didn't see when Pillman got eliminated, but Griff Garrison was eliminated out of the break. And then Evil Uno and Sue Grayson, which is a tag team we need to see more of. They're just great, and they've been there since the start for AEW. So, I mean, it's just with a division that's so loaded, a team like Uno and Grayson just get lost in the shuffle. So then 10 eliminated the Blade. The Dark Order eliminated the Butcher, so Butcher and the Blade were out. The Young Bucks were then next, followed by the Gun Club, who had a early exit. They were there less than a minute. Now I will say, I love their theme music because it's like a Western outlawish type of music, and their gear, they're starting to get more ready for, I would say, from just having that big win streak on Dark, and then looks like they're growing a bit, but so early exit for the Gun Club. And then the Wingmen, they arrived during the break. Ryan Nemeth, Pierre Avalon. I like Ryan Nemeth, the brother of Dolph Ziggler, but paired with Pierre Avalon, was hoping he'd be let go, but yeah. Anyway, so followed by Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson, another young, fiery tag team. Then 10 was eliminated, so Angels and Vance were eliminated. Chuck Taylor was dumped, followed by the Wingman. Grayson and 2.0, Grayson was eliminated. 2.0, they were the last team. So they get survey the scene. They were the last team entering the Battle Royal. So always a great act to see. But so they were next. So Brock and Lee Johnson were dumped at the same time. Bowens tossed the outside, so the Acclaim were eliminated. Then Uno, he was battling Trent on the apron, but out came Danhausen, who cursed Evil Uno, which allowed Trent to eliminate Evil Uno, and Sue Grayson and Evil Uno were eliminated. So 2.0 were dumped by Santana Ortiz, and then Santana Ortiz were dumped out. Trent then was eliminated. Then we get to the final three teams, which I mentioned: FTR, Top Flight, and Young Bucks. FTR, Top Flight almost went the full distance. So Dante Martin and Cash Wheeler were exchanging, but Dante eliminated himself and Cash at the same time. And then out came RedDragon, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. So Dax Harwood was on the apron, exchanging with Matt Jackson, and then Dax was distracted. Super kick knocked Dax to the outside, and FTR was eliminated. So down to the final three combatants. Both the Young Bucks versus Darius Martin. Talk about a venture to come back. So the Bucks went for the Meltzer driver, but Darius countered, and Matt Jackson accidentally eliminated his brother Nick, who was on the top rope to the outside. And then Matt and Darius were on the apron. Matt hit a low blow and then waved goodbye and his super kick, knocking Darius to the outside, and Young Bucks get the victory. They advance to Revolution, and it'll be Jurassic Express versus RedDragon, and the Young Bucks can't get a much better tag team match for the titles than that. I mean, I think with this scenario, I think, and with Adam Cole in the main event versus Hangman, I think this all possibly gonna be one turmoil affair where miscommunication between the Bucks and RedDragon cost themselves the tag titles, and Kenny Omega, if he's healthy, returns in the main event and costs Adam Cole the world title against Hangman. Sounds like an idea, but nonetheless, fun battle royal, and it should be a fun triple threat at Revolution. So then we got CM Punk. This was stellar. This was fun. So CM Punk was out in the ring. He addressed MJF's comments from last week, saying, yeah, they're probably true, but you can't stop thinking about probably getting snake bitten by MJF. So he kept asking himself, does he think he's the good guy in this scenario? So he called out MJF, the one from last week. So MJF came out, no music, and he said, well, all this hate, and he brought up the Ash incident with The Undertaker. He brought the Jericho incident, and, just many more. And he said, building up this hate is not going to help you in this business. So he said he asked himself if he's the good guy in this, and he said he's trying to be. So CM Punk put out his hand and said, MJF, teary-eyed, He goes in for a hug, goes in for an embrace, and CM Punk doesn't know what to think, and they just have a almost heartfelt embrace. And then you knew it was gonna happen. You knew it was gonna happen. Thinking about the Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho incident from WrestleMania 19, and at Full Gear when MJF turned on Cody. MJF hits a low blow on CM Punk, and that's it. So then hits the Heat Seeker on CM Punk. Wardlow and Son Spears come out, and Spears has dog collar chain, and Wardlow has the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Give to MJF. MJF busts CM Punk open with the ring. And they put the dog collar chain around CM Punk. And CM Punk was hanging by the ropes, bloodied, and MJF said, "You stupid old man. The best act by the devil was to make sure he didn't exist." And he said that on Sunday night, he'll make sure that he's that. I mean, good storytelling right down there. I mean, this match is going to be emotional. It's going to be great. It's going to be brutal on Sunday, but it's going to be fun. And MJF should win. And it's just, yeah. So then, next we have Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter for Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. So this match was okay. The cameraman did well in this match, but Mercedes Martinez got a hot tag. She cleaned house in the match. Ram Ruffwile took care of Jamie Hayter. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker had a lot of offense in this match, but Thunder Rosa walked on the Fire Thunder Driver on Britt Baker for the win. Now, this is telling because, you know, I was thinking about it during the show. I said, well, because you see a bunch of questions on social media, which match should be the main event. And I said, well, or I was thinking in my head, if Thunder Rosa wins the championship on Sunday, their match has to be in the main event. But with this scenario, with Thunder Rosa beating Britt Baker here, I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, that may put a wrinkle into that plan. And maybe, and the other thing is, if Kenny Omega returns at Revolution Sunday night, then that may be also telling for that to be the main event. But either match is good with me for the main event. Should be fun. But we'll see. We'll see come Sunday night. So then we got Wardlow back out again and Shawn Spears because we saw him in the Punk segment earlier with his gear on. So you know he was probably going to wrestle. And he's in the Face of Revolution ladder match Sunday. So here he faced Cesar Benoni. Again, another bright, young, big guy. Benoni, who was on NXT for a brief moment. And he's part of the Wingmen. So, pretty academic. Wardlow wins here. Powerbomb Symphony. And Shawn Spears did not take too kindly this. But Wardlow wins. And he should be the victor in that Face the Revolution ladder match on Sunday. It would be interesting. Especially after what MJF told him afterwards. He said that if Wardlow wins the ladder match on Sunday and he wins the TNT title, he'll let Wardlow keep the title. So there's that. And it's going to be a fun ladder match Sunday. And speaking of Face Revolution ladder match, the final qualifier match for the ladder match Sunday. Christian Cage versus Ethan Page. Friday night, Rampage. And the winner will be the last participant in that ladder match Sunday. Also got a heck of a buy-in for the pay-per-view. Hook versus QT Marshall. And Chris Statlander versus Layla Hirsch. Two heck of matches for the buy-in. We got a little bit of promo for the House of Black. All of them. Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, and Brody King. This was just very good, very good. Buddy Matthews didn't have to say a lot, but with his words, they made it work. They made it work. Main event time. Adam Cole and RedDragon, the former Undisputed Era, again of WWE. Here in the main event for Sam, Hangman Page, and Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver's. Pretty decent match here in the main event. So, John Silver, Johnny Hungy was the recipient of the beatdown for the majority of the match. And then Hot Tag, finally Hangman. Hangman and Cole were Cole was trying to avoid Hangman as much as he could. Finally, Hot Tag to Hangman, Sal Powerbomb for near fall. Then melee ensues inside the ring. Finally, Cole back in the ring versus Reynolds. His super kick, followed with the boom. Shining Wizard to the back of the head, and Adam Cole gets the victory for his team. Afterwards was an attack on Hangman. They duct tape his arms to the ropes while he watched Silver Surrounds get beat down. And, that was how Dynamite went off the air. So, what you kind of predicted, although I wouldn't mind seeing Cole with a title, but you can kind of sense where they're going. So, either way, should be fun and should be a fun match come Sunday. But that was how Dynamite went off the air. The final AEW Dynamite before Revolution. Hit my mic, but it's so good. And that's for you guys. Saturday, be here for Rampage, the final stop, which will be live in Orlando. Usually Rampage is taped, but now it's live in Orlando, where Revolution will take place, and should be an interesting edition of Rampage. Got the triple threat TNT title match between Sammy Guevara, Andrade, and Darby Allin. So that's going to be interesting. As well as Christian Cage versus Ethan Page. Christian Cage versus Ethan Page, although it's on a steel cage. There's that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click that like. Well, see, subscribe. How about the video? Thank you all. See you back on Saturday. Be safe. Peace.